After months of rumours, heartbreak, and silence, Sophie Turner just made it official. The Game of Thrones star has gone Instagram public with British aristocrat Peregrine Pearson. And let's just say, the internet has lost its mind. Not just because Sophie looks happier than ever, but because of the timing. While Joe Jonas is spotted with yet another mystery woman, Sophie's soft launch turned into a full-on declaration, a clear message to the world, and maybe, just maybe, to Joe himself. But how did we even get here? From one of Hollywood's golden couples to this headline-making twist. Let's rewind. Back in 2019, Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas seemed unbreakable. She was the global breakout from Game of Thrones, fierce, elegant, witty, and he was the pop star heartthrob who'd already lived 1,000 headlines. Together, they had that effortless, cool factor that made them seem bulletproof. Vegas wedding, family vacations, two beautiful daughters. It looked like the fairy tale ending everyone wanted for them. Until, out of nowhere, it wasn't. When Joe filed for divorce in 2023, fans were stunned. Court filings called the marriage irretrievably broken, but that didn't even begin to cover the emotional mess that followed. Rumours spread that Sophie wanted to live in London while Joe preferred the US lifestyle. Then came those paparazzi shots, Sophie looking drained, Joe looking cold, and both sides' PR teams whispering different stories to the press. The internet immediately took sides, and as if that wasn't enough, Sophie and Joe entered a tense custody dispute, a rare, raw glimpse into what fame really does to families. Through it all, Sophie kept mostly silent, until she didn't. Because that's when a new name entered the picture, Peregrine Pearson. Now, if you've never heard of him, you're not alone. Peregrine isn't another Hollywood actor or musician, he's old money, the heir to one of Britain's most powerful aristocratic families, with the Cowdray estate and a lineage that screams old-school elegance. He's tall, discreet, well-connected, the complete opposite of Hollywood chaos. The two were first spotted together in late 2023, quietly holding hands in Paris, sharing smiles in London, and for the first time in months. Sophie looked genuinely at peace. No flashbulbs, no statements, no PR spin, just two people existing in private. But of course, the internet being the internet, fans noticed everything. And then the world got the confirmation it was waiting for. In January 2024, Sophie Turner went Instagram official, a seemingly casual photo dump, winter coats, ski slopes, and there, in one frame, was Peregrine Pearson. No tags, no captions, just a small, knowing smile. And that's all it took. Because after months of chaos, heartbreak, and lawyers, that photo felt like a reset. A quiet way of saying, I'm moving on. For fans, it was more than gossip. It was symbolic, Sophie reclaiming her own story. While Joe was photographed with mystery companions and new tour outfits, Sophie's post wasn't loud or vengeful. It was calm, classy, and confident. But this is Hollywood. Nothing stays peaceful for long. By April 2025, something strange happened. Eagle-eyed fans noticed Sophie had unfollowed Peregrine on Instagram. His photos disappeared from her grid. No birthday shout-outs, no sightings, nothing. Immediately, headlines screamed, Sophie Turner splits from Peregrine Pearson. Sources claimed she wanted to focus on her kids. Others said their schedules clashed. And yet, no one ever confirmed the breakup. Then came June, Glastonbury Festival in the UK. Sophie was spotted again, with Peregrine, smiling, laughing, leaning in close, no mistaking it. They were back together, or at least something was happening again. Page 6 even ran photos of the two looking inseparable, and fans went wild. Because it wasn't just a random sighting, it looked like a full-circle moment. And the question everyone's asking now is simple. What does this mean for Sophie Turner? And how does Joe Jonas fit into the picture? See, while Sophie was rebuilding her life across the Atlantic, Joe's been quietly making headlines of his own. Multiple outlets, from Yahoo to Page 6, have reported sightings of him with a mystery brunette, and fans have been quick to connect the dots. While nothing's confirmed, the narrative writes itself. Both have moved on, but in completely different ways. Sophie's embracing calm European aristocracy, while Joe seems to still be living the fast-paced celebrity circuit. And that's exactly why this new Instagram official moment hits so hard. It's not just a romantic update, it's a shift in energy. Sophie's not competing, she's not explaining, she's simply showing that she's happy, grounded, and no longer defined by the chaos of the past. To some fans, it feels poetic. The once queen in the north now living her royal reality, literally alongside British nobility. To others, it's bittersweet, a reminder of how quickly Hollywood love stories evolve. But one thing's certain, Sophie Turner has mastered the art of the quiet flex. Instead of interviews or statements, she lets her actions speak. And that's far more powerful than any quote. Each public appearance, each candid smile, feels like part of her rebranding arc. Elegance, growth, and peace after the storm. As for Joe, no shade, but every time he's spotted with someone new, social media can't help but compare. Comments like "Sophie upgraded" and "Joe fumbled" flood the threads. Of course, that's fan talk, but perception matters. In a world driven by optics, Sophie's subtle glow-up feels like the ultimate response. So, what's next for them? If recent sightings are any clue, Sophie and Peregrine's story isn't over. Whether it's love rekindled or a friendship rebuilt, the chemistry's real. And with Sophie slowly stepping back into public events, and now her long-awaited return to acting, her personal life finally seems aligned with her professional one. She's writing a new chapter, and this time, she's the author. Because at the end of the day, this isn't a story about revenge, it's about evolution. Sophie Turner has moved through heartbreak, chaos, and reinvention with grace, proving that sometimes the best way to respond is to live beautifully. And maybe that's why this moment, this Instagram official spark, feels so powerful. It's not just a post, it's a message. She's moved on, and she's never looked better.